Bastin stands at the entrance of this forgotten place. He does not hesitate. He lights his torch and sees his path forward. His companion, the rat, scurries ahead as Bastin takes his first step. Bastin can tell this pathway has been carved out recently. It was not done by tools. A beast made this entrance. Nails and blood can be seen on the wall. The wood used to make the bridge must have come from the temple. Unsure what lays beneath, Bastin must be careful. Looking around, Bastin can feel the cold, humid air on his face. The smell of rot and decay lingers in the air. A feeling of dread falls over Bastin. But out of the corner of his eye, he sees a glint, something bright. He picks it up, and it's the first piece of iron shard he is looking for. Let's get into this. Welcome to Solitary RPG. Okay, so that was my results from the first waypoint that we went through. And what I did is after I was done recording and doing some light editing, I just took some time and very lightly wordsmith a few things. I added in the lighting of the torch because I didn't say that in the first waypoint, and I talked a little bit about the companion scurrying ahead. It didn't change the gameplay at all, but I just wanted to add that narrative information into my story. I also wrote everything down in a journal page, and I kind of gave myself a quick update. You know, right now we have 1 iron shard. The threat clock is at 1. I went out and found my big D6. I use this for a miniatures game called Gaslands, and it's to represent the different gear phases, but it's just a ridiculously large, solid acrylic D6, and it's a novelty item, but it's gonna be used for my threat clock, so hopefully I don't forget to turn it when it happens. So in this video, what we're gonna do is move forward. We're gonna do the next step in this process of playing Dragonbane solo. So we're gonna go to Waypoint 2. I also pulled out my cool D4 that I like to roll. I've only got 1 of these, and I need to get like 10 more. For whatever reason, I don't like rolling the pyramid-shaped ones. I just feel sometimes they fall flat. And I know there's a few different styles of D4s available to roll, but I really like these. They just feel like they roll. And it's just a me thing. That was a lot of 3s. It's just a me thing. You do you. You do whatever you like to do, but that's my new D4 that I'll be rolling moving forward. So let me get my desk all set up. We'll pull our card and we'll start generating the next waypoint. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we're all set up, and what we're gonna do is pull our next waypoint. And all I'm gonna do is just grab a card randomly. So this creates a challenge for us because the last waypoint only had 1 way to go. It didn't branch off, so this is a dead end, so we're not going to be able to use the dead end, so we're going to have to flip this over. And now this is our waypoint, which is kind of cool. It's a unique one. Let me get this on screen, but let me make some notes. Okay, so there's the card we're using, and I shrunk it down a little bit. There's not a lot of detail in this to really show off anything. It's just kind of a unique corridor situation that I don't need to make it that large. In the last video, I felt it was a little too big and got in the way of the camera stuff. So anyways, so let's continue on. The other thing I'm going to be doing, and I made a note of this in my journal here, is we had this overarching threat, and it was traps riddle your pathway. When we rolled for that, I decided I'm going to make this large beast that carved its way into the breach. part of this trap. Like the beast is setting traps for Bastin, or is setting Bastin up for a big trap when the threat clock hits 6. And so that's going to be kind of tied together. And we'll figure out if he's going to face an actual trap or if he's actually going to be facing the beast as that final trap. But just something I wanted to make mention. Sometimes when you start playing solo, your story starts to shift and evolve every time you start rolling on charts and creating stuff. So that's what's going on. So let's evolve the story more. So let's see what we come up with for this spot with our exploration tables, using the stuff provided in the solo play. So we rolled a 2. So this is going to be our location details. And we rolled a 2, which is going to be the environment. And then we go over to the next page and we roll on this table. Sorry, the card's still in the way. I rolled a 6 for environment. Ooh, this could be fun. Creeping vines. So I like that so far. And what is this room? What is this area all about? It's another D20. If I roll duplicates, like if I would have rolled a 7 again for activated mine again, I would have re-rolled. But we rolled a 3. Ooh, burrowed tunnels. This is really coming together quite nicely for the visual that we're seeing. Because even though on the card it shows like really squared walls and stuff like that, we can make that all tunnely type stuff and like continue on with this concept that this beast created all of this. That's it for our generation. Those are the words we get to borrow from. So the first thing we're going to do is we pulled our card, we've got our words, so we're ready to start engaging with the information that we have. But we're going to send our companion, our rat, ahead of us. There's no door blocking us, so the rat can scurry ahead and kind of just get some eyes in the room to see if there's anything that Bastin should be concerned about. And the rat has an awareness of 14. And like I said in the setup video, this is just the cat stats that exist. So we'll roll. I rolled a 6. So we're just going to write down some quick notes, rat, and just so that we can remember we passed our test. So all this is going to do for me in gameplay is when I do my scavenge roll or if I do a search roll, that's going to just, if I get something negative like an encounter or something like that, Bastin would just be aware of it so he can approach that. So he understands what he's getting himself into. But before we make that roll, I kind of want to set the stage and just write down some narrative information, just to kind of get the feel, get the vibe going. So give me a second. Okay, so I'm back, and it wasn't. So when I'm doing this writing, it's not a lot of writing. It's just taking the words and trying to create some sort of a feeling for what we're getting ourselves into. So basically what I came up with is the rat dashes ahead of Bastin to scout out the area ahead. As Bastin approaches, he can smell life, vegetation. He starts to see vines growing on the walls. They start to thicken and cover the carved walls. So what we did is, we took, we have creeping vines. I haven't really said anything about the creeping vines yet. I haven't decided if they're going to be a negative thing or just creepy and creating that vibe. We'll do that after we've done some more rolls and figured those things out. And burrowed tunnels, I'm just kind of continuing on that these walls were carved out by this beast. I haven't decided if I want to use what I want to do with this extra space over here. I may let it be, it's walled off. It's a secret door to get back there. I haven't decided yet. I may ignore that information, all this stuff in the background, and just say the vines are covering it, and just leave it at that, and just continue on with my journey as if Bastin doesn't see it. Or if we roll for scavenging and I roll an encounter, maybe the encounters come out from that. So we'll figure those things out. But speaking of that, that's the next step, is to do our scavenge roll to see if we find anything. And as I said earlier, if it's a corridor like this, I'm pretty much just doing a scavenging. Bastin's just kind of moving through the rooms. He's not, he's an eager young buck that is just trying to find iron shards. So he's just scanning and moving, scanning and moving. So this could be a really short waypoint depending on what I roll here. So we get our favorite D10. We have our chart. We roll a 6. So he finds an interesting item. So this is one of those other changes I've made to the rules. It's supposed to be a D4, but what we're trying to do is find iron shard. I've added 5, 6 to mean he found iron shard. I rolled a 2. He finds a map. Do scavenging. I rolled a 6 plus a 2 equals a map. Just a quick note of what we're doing. So now with this information, we're going to add to our narrative about what Bastin's doing and how things are progressing. So give me a second. Let me do some writing and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what I came up with so far. And this is, we're going to go through steps and processes as we go through these different waypoints. But as Bastin enters the area, he is taken back by the vines. He thinks to himself, how can anything live in this darkness? As he looks closer, the vines are growing in a unique manner. They have like shapes and they're connected. They look very odd to him, something he has never seen. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this result of finding a map and this result of these creeping vines, and I'm going to just link them together as the vines are growing in such a manner, like a creepy way, that they're making a map. But does Bastin notice this? Does he pick up on this concept that these vines are a map, or does he just kind of keep walking and just kind of admire them? So then we have to look at our character sheet. What would be the best way for for a player to decide if Bastin picks this up? Obviously, intelligence is a big one, but the thing about Dragonbane is you have all these skills, and is there anything in the skill category that would be helpful to him? I could do awareness. Like, is he aware of it? But to me, awareness is more, seeing maybe an encounter or something like that. But we could use that. The other thing I could just do is just a normal intelligence check. And looking at the two skills, my awareness is a 10, my intelligence is a 12. You know what? We're just going to roll the d20. And if we roll really bad, then we don't pick up on it. If we roll good, then we're going to pick up on it. I rolled a 10, so either way would work if I was an intelligence or awareness. So we're just going to go with he picks up on this and realizes that it's a map. So let me continue on with my writing. Okay, so here's just where we're at now. So I did my intelligence awareness check and I rolled that 10, so I succeeded. So I just wrote down, as Bastin looks at the vines, he touches one of the shapes. Then parts of the vines start to move and bend, like these are the only parts connected. Bastin does it again with the same result. He thinks this is maybe some kind of a map or some way of navigating through the breach. But without knowing which room he's looking for, it's useless. And that's, just me writing down some notes. I was doing a little ad-libbing as I was reading it because I just wanted to add a little bit more to it. But that's kind of where we're at with Waypoint 2. So far, we've got nothing big or exciting going on. We're just entering into the breach. We're going a little bit further, and this is where we're at. So, what I'll end up doing is going into my journal, documenting everything that I have going on so far, and get ready for the next waypoint. So, thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye.